Hello, my name is Jessica Boatwright, and I live in Southern California in Chino Hills. And I want to tell you about my horrible experience with the real estate agent from hell. So, I bought this house that I currently live in 5 years ago, and I bought it at the time when the economy was in the pooper. It was horrible. Everybody was suffering. There was a lot of inventory, prices were low. It was definitely a buyer's market, and a lot of people were desperate to sell. But on the flip side, if there was a good deal to be made, a lot of people were going to pounce on that deal. So you kind of had to move fast. If you found a diamond in the rough, you really needed to move and offer a good price because it was probably going to be sold the next day. So I was ready to purchase a home. I did my due diligence and I got pre-approved before I even contacted a real estate agent. And I actually had them run my real numbers, not just on paper, to make sure that I was ready and I was financially able to afford the area that I wanted to purchase, which was Chino Hills. So I actually ended up finding a home in Anaheim in an upcoming area. It's like called the District. They're building a lot of really modern homes and townhomes and courtyard homes there. So they're trying to build it up and get it to this really beautiful luxury area. And I wanted to purchase there. So I actually went there by myself and found this before I contacted an agent and already started to negotiate on this price. I ended up contacting a real estate agent, and before that I talked with the builder to make sure that it would be okay if I brought in my own agent, and they would of course compensate them for their time through a percentage, and they did. So I needed an agent to be kind of my negotiator, to negotiate for me. So I found one on Redfin, and it ended up being that the way Redfin works, if you're not familiar, it sounds great on paper, but it's not. They give you a percentage of the real estate agent's commission. So you think that's great. You're like, ooh, I'm getting like $1,600 from this, commission, or $3,000. I don't know how much the commission was that I received. It was a while back, but I think it was almost $3,000. So it felt great. Like I bought a home and I'm getting money. Sounds like a great deal. Well, the agency that was handling the transaction pawned me off to another agent who at the time his grandmother was in the hospital dying. So I was given very little attention. He was so unprofessional. He didn't even sit down with me and ask me, what I wanted, what I was looking for. He didn't even offer to look at other developments in the area. I just told him I had a house, I was ready and to move. I kind of was expecting him to offer some insight and some um, his opinions where, maybe I could look over here in this development. Didn't even do that. So he didn't even want to negotiate a price. He just wanted me to go in there and pay full price and make it real easy, right? He doesn't have to do much work. And I wanted to negotiate. So I kind of fought with him a little bit about the pricing, what I wanted him to negotiate into the price. And I actually just gave up and I started calling the builder myself and I negotiated down to almost exactly what I wanted. Granted, this real estate agent just wanted me to pay full price. I got the home down 60 grand. This was a loft style, like 2,000 square foot loft home. I got them to include 3 permanent walls, flooring. The only thing we couldn't negotiate on was they were going to offer to pay for me to move out of my apartment, which was like 3 grand, but they needed me to have 15-day escrow. So I decided not to do it because also too, there was no garage and they didn't allow me to put permanent storage in my parking space. So that was a deal breaker for me, even though I got a really good price, really good list details on it. It was awesome. Granted, my real estate agent wasn't doing anything. So I ended up deciding to say, well, why don't I look in Chino Hills? I found all these homes and I gave them to the agent and said, get me the keys to the homes. I want to view them and find out information about them if you can. If there's any problems with the home, if there has been any leaks, is it currently being lived in, whether animals. I asked them specifically that I didn't want any homes that had cats because I am deathly allergic to cats. So even if the house was cleaned, I could still have problems. He didn't do any of this. at all. He didn't even, bother to tell me that there was Melrose in any of these. I had to look for it myself. So I basically handed him these homes. Every single listing that he has gotten from me, I gave it to him. So he was doing very minimal work. On top of that, he wasn't answering his phone. He did everything through email. He told me, don't call me, email me. So through this whole time, he was going back and forth in the hospital, which I totally understand, and I was very sympathetic. I even sent him flowers with the condolences because his grandmother passed away. But I feel that what a professional would have done was that either asked the broker to step in and take over or ask a real estate agent to help him because I was being ignored. And at the time, a lot of the inventory was starting to get bought up. So I needed to purchase a home fast because prices were starting to slowly creep up and time was of the essence. I wasn't sympathetic to his grandmother in the hospital and passing away. I actually suggested to him that maybe we should have someone else come in and help him if he didn't have the time, and he said he was fine. So um, it was just a horrible, horrible experience. So come to find out, I find the home, which I found it myself. Told him I want this one. I want to go view it, and I potentially want to write an offer that day. So have the paperwork ready. He got all the paperwork ready, went there, and he knew at the time that I did not want a home with Melrose and that I wanted to find out for any issues with plumbing or leaks or anything because I don't have the time to be fixing a home. He did not tell me that there was Melrose until the day of signing the the offer. He did not tell me about any problems in the home. He also didn't tell me about the HOA was going to have everyone paint their home. So it got so crazy. It was so upsetting to me because I found my dream home. I was ready. It was in the area that I wanted. Um, and all this information was laid out to me. Oh, there's Melrose. And I was literally the day of signing. He didn't bother to tell me this because he wanted to make the sale. On top of that, he didn't tell me that I had an opportunity to purchase a home warranty. And home warranties, I know some people are kind of hit and miss with those. From my experience and talking with other people that have bought a home warranty, you can buy a home warranty when you first purchase a home. It covers minor things like, certain little plumbing, electrical problems, minor things. It's not supposed to be you know, my wall, is loose, I need to have it fixed, or my bathtub is old. And, it's supposed to be for small, minor things that end up happening in your first year of owning a home. So I had plumbing problems in my kitchen and my master bathroom, and the home warranty would have covered it. And the real estate agent did not tell me that I had an option to even purchase one. He just said that there's no home warranty, and that was it. He did his due diligence. He did. But he didn't tell me that I had an option to purchase one. So we ended up coming to an agreement based on the fact that his agent was unprofessional, that he did not want to negotiate anything with me, and that he was basically absent the whole time that I was doing the negotiating. And the home warranty issue, he was going to offer me a check to pay for the problems that I would have had covered with the warranty. So that was great. So I ended up moving into my home. Everything was nice, and I loved my home. And I started realizing that I could do such a better job than this guy. I mean, it's not rocket science. I found the home myself. I negotiated. The only thing I couldn't do was do the paperwork. But you want to know what? I read through that sucker, looked through everything, make sure everything was correct. And you know what? I did find some things that I needed to have omitted from the contract, which he didn't even catch himself. I'm thinking, what am I doing? I could do such a better job. And talking to my friends that have bought homes, they have had horrible experiences as well. There's too many idiots in the real estate industry. Too many people that just want to skate on by, that just want to make a quick buck. And it really infuriates me because, you know, we all have to make money. We all need to make a buck. But in the process, is your dignity worth more? Is your pride worth more? Do you want to be known as, oh, that real estate agent is a hardball, but man, I wouldn't trust him or I wouldn't trust her? Is that what you want to live by? That's not what I want to live by. I want to live by where people know that Jessica's a great real estate agent. She is so sweet and so friendly, and man, she got me a great deal and a good listing. Yeah, I might have paid a little bit more, but she reassured me that there was no problems with the house. It was a great area, and she know I love my house. Because you can't be too hardball. Something's got to give a little bit, right? So I'm getting my real estate license, and I'm going to try and document the process of me starting from literally day one to day whatever. This hopefully it goes on for a while so you guys can see and maybe encourage others and help others see that the real estate agent field needs more compassionate, caring, honest, professionals. So I'm gonna make another video on my study methods and what I'm doing. I'm trying to get some ideas, thinking about if I pass my test, tell you what I did to pass. I have my test coming up on Monday, but I'll talk about that in another video. So for now, I just wanted to rant and tell you about my horrible experience with my real estate agent and why that encouraged me to become a real estate agent, because I can do much better than him. Bye, everyone.